Residents near the Tulyahan River and other low-lying areas in Quezon City, Caloocan, Valenzuela, Malabon, and Navotas have also been advised to take precautions. Over in Bulacan, widespread flooding submerged multiple towns due to incessant rains and other contributing factors. We have with us News 5 correspondent Mon Gualvez to give us some updates. Mon, nung huli tayo nag-usap, medyo mataas pa ang mga tubig, ang baha. Pero as of now ba, Mon, kamusta na ang sitwasyon dyan sa Bulacan?
Diego, I am here in Kalumpit, Bulacan, kung saan talagang halos parang ilog na no, yung mga kalsada dito sa 29 na barangay ng bayan na talagang affected dito sa nagdaang mga pag-ulan, dala ng habagat. Ang problema, ngayon medyo wala ng ulan na nakikita ninyo, pero mataas pa rin ang baha. Yan ay dahil sa high tide. Aabot kasi sa 4.79 meters or almost 4.79 feet. O almost 5 feet, no? 5 talampakan yan na dagdag.
5 feet ang taas.
5 feet yung taas or elevation nitong high tide na inaasahan. Dagdag yan sa talagang baha na naranasan dito nito mga nakaraang araw dahil nga sa ulang dala ng habagat plus yung tubig na bumabagsak dito sa Kalumpit galing sa Pampanga, Nueva Ecija at Tarlac bilang catch basin. So dito sa Barangay San Miguel, makikita ninyo talagang halos lubog pa sa tubig ang maraming mga bahay dito sa lugar. Karamihan ay gumagamit na ng bangka para marating yung kanilang mga lugar. Marami kasi sa mga residents dito, more than 400 families ang nandito sa purok na ito, ayaw muna magsilikas dahil syempre uncomfortable daw sa evacuation center and luckily they have second floors. No? Yeah. So sila yung mga ang mga nagsilikas rather, yung mga one floor lang talaga yung bahay at talagang wala silang matutungtungan ng kanilang mga gamit eventually.
Mon,
Diego,
nakabangka ka ngayon, no?
Yes. Nakasakay tayo sa bangka ngayon.
And okay, ang tanong ko, Mon, is in Kalumpit, no? Let's say regular rains lang, ganyan ba talagang kabaha lagi? Parang hindi nag-i-improve ang situation sa flood?
There are barangays here in Kalumpit, Bulacan na konting ulan lang or kahit high tide lamang, talaga mabilis tumaas yung tubig dito sa naturang bayan. No? Pero yung ganitong grabe, dahil nga nagdagdag na, no, nagkaroon na ng mga different factors. Ulan, high tide, and the waters rushing from different provinces.
So, diretso na natin. So, you mentioned 3 factors. Ang 4th factor ba, pwedeng faulty flood control project. The reason why I ask you this, Mon, no? Okay, ituro mo sa akin. Ano yung mga towns yan na naikutan mo na may supposedly may flood control project pero ganyang kagrabe ang baha?
Actually, itong Bulacan, Diego, ito talaga yung pinaka-high, parang sentro nung kontrobersya patungkol sa flood control scandal. Kung meron na talagang flood control projects, may iwasan sana yung ganito. Kasi ang pinaka-use sana ng flood control project na yan, lalo high tide na concern dito sa Kalumpit, no? One example is Kalumpit, makokontrol yung pasok ng tubig, no? Kapag tumataas yung level ng mga ilog. Ito kasing Barangay San Miguel, katabing-katabi lang nito yung Pampanga River. Pero other towns na talagang sana merong flood control project pero wala, either wala, substandard o yun nga ang malala, yung ghost o talagang na-declare na complete pero wala pa. So other towns na marami mga pagbaha pa dito sa Bulacan are Hagonoy, even Malolos City, Paumbong, Bulacan, and actually 10 yan, no? Towns and cities here in the province of Bulacan.
Well, Mon, of course, since laging mataas ang tubig ang nagbabaha sa area na yan, no? And medyo yung tubig, alam naman natin, hindi malinis. Kamusta naman ang situation with regards to overall health? May mga medicine in place? Kasi alam natin, leptospirosis, bacterial infections, ang daming possible na sakit na pwede.
Oo. Kita mo naman dito, Diego, yung iba hindi na talaga nagsasakay ng bangka, kundi naglalakad na lamang. Although yung iba may jumpsuit, swerte, yung mga may wader, pero yung wala, talagang no choice kundi lumusong sa baha, no? Ang pinamimigay naman ng mga lokal na pamahalaan bukod sa relief goods are also medicines, no, doxycycline, for them to at least maging protected pa
Yeah.
rin kahit lumusong sila sa ganito kataas na baha. Ang
Yeah.
sabi ng mga residente rito, aabot ng almost a month pa bago humupa itong baha kapag ganitong masama pa rin ang panahon at talagang tuloy-tuloy yung taas ng level ng high tide dito sa lugar. Bago magsabado, talagang walang ganito, hindi ganito kataas. Aabot lang daw siguro ng bukong-bukong yung tubig dito sa lugar. Pero yun nga, dahil sa different factors na binanggit natin kanina, mabilis tumaas yung tubig at matagal naman mag-subside.
Ay nako, nakakaano. Pero sige Mon, of course with all the floods na nangyayari diyan, paano naman yung mga utilities nila? Like paano yung transportation? Like nakabangka ka, 'di ba? And yung communication lines, do they have signals sa cellphone, landlines?
Alam mo, Diego, yung mga residents and barangays na lamang talaga nag-a-adjust sa ganitong situation. Imbis na matulungan sila ng mga flood control projects. So in terms of utilities, last year, naging problema yan dahil talagang nawala ng power supply yung malaking bahagi ng ilang barangay dito sa Kalumpit. So ngayon ang ginawa nila, yung mga nakababad talaga ng mga power lines, pinutol yon at inangat na ngayon para at least hindi talaga napuputol yung supply ng kuryente. They still have water supply, power, and even communication lines. No? So especially now that the rains are hindi na masyadong bumubuhos, no, paminsan-minsan na lamang. Ang problema, baka pa rin.
Alright, Mon, of course, with all of these issues na dinadanas sa mga kababayan natin, ano ang support binibigay ng local government? May ayuda ba ang binibigay? Paano yung housing? Mga taong talagang overcome by flood already?
So far, what we can see and what we know, mga relief goods pa lamang ang naibibigay and even the medicines na nabanggit niya sa atin kanina. Other than that, I think wala pa kaming nalalaman na so far in terms of rehabilitation and housing. Pero yun nga, provided din naman yung mga tents sa iba't ibang mga evacuation centers for those who would want to avail, to evacuate rather, during this time of flooding, no? So, ayan, we are showing you some pictures of from the Kalumpit PNP wherein tents were provided inside the evacuation center para may privacy pa rin yung mga families na magsisilikas.
Sige, mag-ingat ka dyan muna at nakabangka ka pa. Anyway, please keep us updated kung ano yung mga kaganapan dyan. But for now, maraming salamat, News 5 correspondent Mon Gualvez. In the meantime, the southwest monsoon or habagat will continue to bring rains over parts of Luzon. Now, until tomorrow noon, heavy rainfall of up to 50 to 100 millimeters is expected over Zambales, Bataan, and Occidental Mindoro. From tomorrow noon through Thursday noon, the same areas are again expected to experience intense downpour. Evacuees at Malanday Elementary School in Marikina City have started returning home as rains let up. For the details, we have mobile journalist Evan Tarinque. Evan, ano na sitwasyon dyan?
Diego, kaninang umaga nga, nagpakita na si Haring Araw dito nga sa lungsod ng Marikina. Kasabay nga niyan, yung pagbaba ng water level dito nga sa Marikina River. No, as of 12 noon, nasa 14.2 meters na lang yung water level dito sa Marikina. So, ibig sabihin, back to normal na. So, napalaking difference nito compared kahapon na umabot dyan sa 16.4. No? Kaya naman yung ilang mga residente na nasa evacuation center, nagsimula na magsiuwian sa kanilang mga bahay. No? And doon nga sa nakuha nating number kanina, no? Kung kahapon nasa 600 plus yung mga residents na nag-evacuate, ngayon nasa 60 na lang as of this morning. No? Pero expected nila na ngayong araw talagang tuluyan na wala nang evacuees na matitira sa mga evacuation center dito nga sa Marikina. Pero so far, no, kanina inikot natin itong barangay Malanday, lalo na itong parte ng Bulelak, no, kung saan nga nandoon yung water pump o yung pumping station na hindi gumana. Kaya naman ito yung tinitingnang dahilan ng ilang mga residente doon ng pagtaas ng tubig at kaya nga raw sila binaha. No? Dahil nga rin dito, talagang nakita rin natin doon sa pumping station na to, no? Dahil sarado yung gate, nagkalat din or naipon din yung mga basura doon sa pumping station na iyan. Kaya naman kanina talagang pinapump yan ng local government pati na rin ng MMDA, no, at para nga bumaba rin yung tubig dito nga sa Tumana Creek at nagsimulan na rin yung cleaning operations dito nga sa iba't ibang bahagi ng Marikina para nga maging back to normal na yung sitwasyon matapos nga yung halos isang linggong tuloy-tuloy na pag-uulan. Diego?
All right, thank you for those updates. Stay safe. Mobile journalist Evan Tarinque. The Office of the Ombudsman is looking into flood control projects down south. That and more stories from mobile journalist Daniel Dayao.
Ombudsman Boying Remulla visited Cebu on August 10 and said his office has found more than 60 billion pesos worth of flood control projects in Cebu over the past 6 years. 20% were in the 7th district, while 25% went to a loan contractor. The Ombudsman is checking for locations, designs, and implementation, including the Mananga River project in Talisay City, which overflowed during Typhoon Tino last year. He also looked into a project in Balamban over a possible change in location and possible ghost projects.
We always go by the evidence, so we're establishing that now. There will be cases filed by the Office of the Ombudsman Visayas soon, but it's not enough. We have to go more. I have to remind everybody, we cannot file cases just like that or put people in jail just like that. We need the evidence. Kailangan yung evidence matibay para mailatag namin yung kaso.
Remulla says Cebu is not the only area on the Ombudsman's radar. He said his office will use digital tools and work with local officials and residents to verify the projects.
We're looking at Tacloban, specifically because the speaker came from Tacloban and was able to pour in a lot of money to Tacloban.
Business tycoon Ramon Ang buys 25.68% stake in Lopez Incorporated, held by the family branch of former ABS-CBN chairman Eugenio Gabi Lopez III. Crim Investment Corporation, which represents Gabi's family branch, sold its entire stake to Ang. Lopez said the sale was partly intended to help restore, quote, family peace and allow his branch to redirect resources to other business priorities. The Lopez family dispute erupted publicly in February over the attempted removal of Federico Piqui Lopez as president and CEO. Philippine ambassador to the U.S. Jose Manuel Babe Romualdez warns that other Southeast Asian countries could take our place if the country drops the ball on the Pax Silica initiative. The project envisions a hub in New Clark City, Tarlac, with the Philippines chosen as a participant because of its status as a trusted U.S. ally. Romualdez also pushed back against what he called misinformation surrounding the project, assuring that any agreements or terms will be made transparent. Pax Silica has faced concerns over its possible impact on local communities and the environment, particularly with the proposed development of AI data centers.
I hope that they realize that we're not the only game in town. If we don't take this one, there are many other Asian countries that are prepared to take it on.
And motorists will get another week of relief at the pumps, as fuel prices are set to drop by more than 4 pesos per liter starting Tuesday, August 11. The Energy Department has announced the gasoline prices will fall by 4 pesos and 70 centavos per liter across all grades. Diesel, meanwhile, will drop by 4 pesos and 30 centavos per liter, and kerosene will be cut by 4 pesos and 88 centavos. The adjustments, which reflect movements in the global oil market, will be in effect until August 17. Kapatid Mobile journalist Daniel Dayao, we are One News.
Day 14 of Vice President Sara Duterte's impeachment trial continues, focusing on her alleged misuse of confidential funds. Now, for the latest development so far, we have mobile journalist Daniel Dayao. Daniel, go ahead with your report.
Yes, Angelo, day 14th of VP Sara's impeachment trial at tuloy na ngang naiharap ng prosekusyon ang kanilang ika-4 na testigo na si former COA or si current COA Expo State Auditor Sailin Del Campo. Siya kasi yung nagtuloy ng naging pag-o-audit sa liquidation reports ng confidential funds ni VP Sara nung umalis yung naging testigo or naunang testigo ni si former COA State Auditor Roderick Wamel. So basically, ang inisyu na is notice of disallowance sa Office of the Vice President amounting to 73 million pesos, particularly dated December 21 to 31, 2022. So kanina sinabi din dito na may mga nakitang irregularities nga at discrepancies, particularly may mga documents din na hindi na-submit. So ang example niyan, Diego, is of course yung hindi daw kompleto yung resibo or yung official receipts. Instead, acknowledgement receipts lang yung isinumite ng Office of the Vice President. So bukod pa dyan, Diego, nakita rin yung resibo ay ginamit din for meetings and mostly for Christmas parties and tree planting. So ito yung mga pinuto kanina ni Sailin Del Campo, ang current COA auditor. So bukod pa dyan ay sinabi din dito yung mga documents kasi na nasabi ko kanina ay hindi siya sakop ng utilization of confidential funds. So according to Representative Joel Chua ng Council for the Prosecution, ang sabi niya parang naging reimbursement daw itong naging paglilista nga ng Office of the Vice President dahil hindi naman daw sakop itong tree planting pagdating na rin sa mga Christmas parties and such. So bukod pa dyan ay may mga lumutang na rin ulit na pangalan kagaya na lang ni Matthew Peso na nagkaroon ng 250,000 purchase of supplies noong July 15, 2023. Ganun din si Jay Camote for purchase of supplies, pati na rin si Miggy Mango. Yan yung nakalagay sa acknowledgement receipt. So, yun nga yung sinasabi ng prosecution as of now, Diego, na it leaves the question kung meron nga bang katotohanan yung mga pangalan na ito at ito nga daw magiging testigo nilang iniharap na si Sailin Del Campo ang magbubuho or magtatahi ng storya kung meron nga bang patotohanan itong paggamit ng confidential funds ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Angelo.
Alright, Daniel, last week medyo mababa ang attendance sa mga judges, na senator judges. Ngayon, today, sino yung mga absent na senator judges?
Yes, tama ka dyan, Diego. Pero as of today, meron tayong 18 present senator judges. Pero ang absent is 3 lang. Si Senator Judge Lauren Legarda, Senator Judge Bongo, and Senator Judge Alan Peter Cayetano.
Alright, thank you for the updates. Mobile journalist Daniel Dayao. Join us again at 2 p.m. for the very latest stories. I'm Diego Castro. Now at this point, we take you back to the Duterte impeachment trial.
Opo, nag-submit po sila ng response noong April 17, 2024.
And if I show you a copy of this response dated April 17, 2024, ma-identify mo ba siya?
Opo.
Showing to you now, Attorney De La Cruz. Showing to you now, the Department of Education's response, pre-marked as Exhibit P-1-21-B. P-1-21-B, Your Honor.
Kindly turn on, thank you, and respondents 1-9. Counsel, correct?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, it's 1-79.
79.
DE.
Sorry, 1 dash. The response is 1 dash.
D-1-79-DE.
Noted.
Madam Witness, anong relation itong document na in-identify mo sa sinabi mong sinubmit na response ng DepEd Secretary?
This is the same response po na sinubmit sa amin ng DepEd.
Please look at this document. Meron nakalagay sa last page. Kaninong signature ito kung alam mo?
Kay Attorney Michael Wesley T. Powa po.
Attorney Michael. Who is this Attorney Michael Powa?
Based on this document po, Undersecretary and Chief of Staff.
Okay. Why are you familiar with his signature?
Dun po sa dalawang documents na na-evaluate ko, pareho po yung signature niya dun sa dalawang transmittal letters po.
And how many acknowledgement? Okay. What were the attachments, if you recall, to this response of the DepEd?
Nag-submit po sila ng acknowledgement receipts, certification from the relevant partners, specifically the Armed Forces of the Philippines.
Ano pa?
At saka po, fully accomplished na disbursement voucher. And meron din po pala silang sinubmit na DepEd Order number 1.
You mentioned na may attach sa response na acknowledgement receipts for the first quarter and for the second quarter by the DepEd. If shown to you, will you be able to identify them?
Yes po.
For the first quarter of the DepEd, you have made a summary, please confirm, Madam Witness, of 561 acknowledgement receipts.
Opo, tama po.
For the period February 20 to March 30, 2023, meron kang summary na ginawa.
Opo, meron po.
Dala mo ba yung summary na yan?
Yes po.
Your Honor, please, the witness is producing a summary of 561 acknowledgement receipts for the first quarter. Liquidation expenses of confidential funds of the Department of Education.
Observation of counsel is noted. You may
We are
proceed.
giving copies to Respondents' Counsel and to this Honorable Presiding Officer through the Clerk of Court.
Yes, please. The clerk of court to those eyes directed to kindly get a copy. You may proceed, counsel.
We request, Your Honor, that this tabulation for the first quarter prepared by the witness be marked as Exhibit P-1-33. Madam Witness. For the second quarter of the DepEd, attached to the DepEd's response is 619 acknowledgement receipts. Do you confirm that?
Yes po.
This is for the period April 25 to June 30, 2023.
Opo.
And this consists, no. Do you have that summary with you?
Yes po, meron po.
Same order, kindly mark it and furnish the opposing counsel as well as the court with a copy.
For the record, Your Honor, the first quarter is 561 acknowledgement receipts. The second quarter is 619 acknowledgement receipts. So the summaries of quarter 1 and quarter 2 consist of 1,180 acknowledgement receipts, Your Honor. These are marked. We request that this be marked as Exhibit PI-34 for the second quarter.
Noted.
Madam Witness, anong proseso ang ginamit mo sa paggawa ng evaluation or tabulation na to?
Gaya po ng ginawa ko rin sa OBP, tinabulate ko po ito by date, yung activity and the amount po.
Okay. And familiar ka sa mga ARs na to, Madam Witness?
Opo.
And if shown to you, we will show you some selected examples. Also going to be flashed on the screen. Showing to you Exhibit P-1-17-29 being flashed on the screen. Madam Witness, Anong pangalan na nakalagay dito?
Pirma lang po. Ay, di ko po mabasa kung pirma ito, pero wala pong,
Walang pangalan pero may pirma.
opo.
And anong place na in-issue?
Based po sa dokumento, ang address po is Danao.
At ang date?
February 21, 2023 po.
February 21, 2023 for magkano?
50,000 pesos po for the payment for information.
Okay. Can you read the others? P-17, P-1-17-81, Alfred Avanta.
Nakalagay po, acknowledgement receipt date, February 21, 2023. Received the amount of 100,000 in payment for supplies. Payee, Alfred Abanta, address Malolos.
Malolos. Next, P-1-17-288, Mary Santillan. Saan place in-issue ito, Madam Witness, based on the document?
Based po sa document, ang address po nakalagay is Davao City.
Okay. Anong date nito?
February 21, 2023 po.
The same date, February 21, 2023. Okay. Galing Malolos, pumunta ng Davao, Negros Occidental naman. P-1-17-382, Milieu. Magkano to?
45,000 po in payment for rental safe house.
Ang date
February 21, 2023 po.
and place is
Ang nakalagay po sa dokumento na address is Negros Occidental.
Negros Occidental. For the next one, P-1-17-492. Kaninong pangalan ito?
Pirma lang po.
Walang pangalan, may pirma. Saan naman place binigay ang perang ito?
San Francisco Agusan del Sur po.
So, from Negros Occidental, pumunta ng Agusan.
Your Honor, please, Your Honor.
Magkano ang... There's no question yet.
Kindly,
Ano ang date?
I know
na
where you're getting at, but kindly finish your question, Counsel.
Anong date ang in-issue nito based on this document?
Ang date po is February 21, 2023.
Okay, the next document.
Counsel for respondent, yes.
Your Honor, can the counsel be reminded not to make any inferences on the document, Your Honor? Like,
Counsel-
Malolos, pumunta ng Negros,
Counsel
pumunta
is so
ng Agusan.
reminded, just ask your question to the witness. Let the witness be the one to respond to whatever elicitation or admission you want to get, Counsel. You may
Yes,
proceed.
Your Honor, we will comply, although it's self-evident that all these documents are dated February 21, 2023. Like the next one, P-1-17-493. In the name of Andre Galor. Where was it issued, Madam Witness?
Based po sa document, ang address po is Makati City.
And what date?
February 21, 2023 po.
For what amount, Madam Witness?
100,000 po for the payment of rental safe house.
And the last in this first set is P-1-17-574. Is there a name? Anong pangalan na nakalagay sa dokumento?
Minda Lacson po.
Anong date?
February 21, 2023.
Anong place?
Negros Oriental po.
Okay. Madam Witness, based on the documents, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, based on these 7 selected documents presented to you, do you confirm that there is only one date of disbursement?
Your Honor, please.
I'm asked and answered,
February
Counsel.
21, 2023 is the uniform dates in all of these documents, Madam Witness.
Your Honor, please.
I have not yet asked the question.
No,
Ask and answer,
already
Your
did.
Honor.
You already did, Counsel. If it's the uniform date,
Okay, what is, the question is this. What significance can you draw or observation can you make for these 6 documents issued on the same dates in 6 different places from 7, Danao, Malolos, Davao, Negros, Agusan, Makati, Sito Negros, Oriental. What observation can you make, if any, as regards these acknowledgement receipts that you identified?
Based po dito sa mga acknowledgement receipts na to, lahat po sila is dated February 21, 2023 and naibigay po sila sa iba-ibang addresses po na nakalagay dito.
You mentioned earlier on testimony that you have audited many national agencies, correct?
Yes po.
And at least 30, if I recall right. At least 30 national agencies?
Opo.
Okay. Based on your evaluation, how many government or national agencies have had similar submissions on acknowledgement receipts? If you recall, same date, different locations, different names. How many? Based on your recollection, national or local government agencies have submitted acknowledgement receipts of this nature?
Hindi ko na po mabilang pero may mga nagsasabit din po ng acknowledgement receipts po.
Ang tanong sa'yo, acknowledgement receipts na pare-parehong araw pero iba-ibang location. Meron ka bang maalala?
Parang wala. Wala naman po.
Okay. Going now to several acknowledgement receipts, which we will show you. Please go over this. Again, acknowledgement receipts by way of liquidation for the DepEd. Can you please go over this one by one, being flashed on the screen? First is P-1-17-7 for Geraldine Omoy. What date is stated there?
Nakalagay po dito February 25, 2023.
And place?
Nakalagay po sa dokumento na to, ang address po is Masbate.
Magkano?
200,000 po for the payment of reward.
Next, P-1-17-87. Kaninong pangalan na nandyan?
Pirma lang po yung nakalagay.
Walang pangalan. Saan in-issue?
Sa Lawag City po.
Anong date?
February 25, 2023 po.
February 25, 2023 for how much?
100,000 po for the payment for supplies.
Okay. P-1-17-88 to a Mr. Aquino, Jaime Aquino. From Davao City, magkano?
45,000 po.
And what date?
February 25, 2023 po.
Next, P-1-17-127. Whose name is it? What amount and what date?
Pirma lang po, tapos ang date po niya is February 25, 2023. Ang nakalagay po na address is Agusan del Norte.
Next, Madam Witness, Rex Napoles, P-1-17-128. What date, what place, and what amount is stated?
Ang date po is February 25, 2023. 50,000 in payment for transport, rental, or expenses. Ang address po na nakalagay is Olonga po.
P-1-17-169. Madam Witness. Whose name, what is the date, the place, and the amount?
Ang date po is February 25, 2023 in the amount of 40,000 for the payment of information. Address po is Samar.
P-1-17-213, Eduardo Tan. What date and where was it disbursed and what amount?
Nakalagay po sa dokumento, date February 25, 2023. Ang amount po is 150,000 in payment for reward. Ang address po is Masbate.
With the indulgence of counsel, so as not to belabor the point, based on your understanding, Ma'am Sailin, yung address po bang nakalagay sa baba? Address kung saan binigay yung pera o address ng tao? Sa pagkakaunawan niyo po,
Based po dito dahil po documents evidencing payment, yung address po dito is yung kung saan po binayad.
So ang ibig sabihin, pro forma document po ba yan?
Hindi po to kasama sa annexes sa joint circular.
So hindi to pro forma?
Hindi po.
So sa pagkakaunawa nyo lamang po na ang address na nakalagay dyan, address kung saan binigay.
Yes
Hindi
po.
address kung taga saan sila.
Opo, kasi based po sa ito po ay documents evidencing payment. So, yung address dito is kung saan po binayaran.
And that is reflected in the AUM you issued with respect to the first and second quarter?
Hindi po.
Wala sa AUM yan?
Wala po.
Okay. Counsel, you may proceed.
Mr. Lito Saludoyares, P-117-237. What date was it issued or paid? Saan binayad ang pera? Anong date at anong amount?
Ang date po is February 25, 2023. Payment for supplies amounted to 50,000. Ang address po is Lubok.
Pangasinan naman, P-1-17-238, isang Janine Bartolin. What date was this disbursed?
Ang nakalagay po dito is February 25, 2023 in the amount of 50,000 for payment for supplies po. Ang address Pangasinan.
P-1-17-238, Janine Bartolina. I'm sorry, 369. P-1-17-369. Whose name is this?
Signature lang po.
Walang pangalan. Saan inisyo? Saan binayad itong perang ito?
Compostela Valley po.
P-1-17-391. Luilito Agord. Please state the date it was paid, the place, and the amount.
February 25, 2023 po, payment for rental of safe house amounting to 45,000. Ang address po na nakalagay is Davao City.
Okay. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 remaining acknowledgement receipts here. I'll go over them briefly. Please follow as I mentioned them. P-1-17-418. Only a signature appears. Disbursed in Masbate for 50,000. Again, February 25, 2023. P-1-17-430 in the name of Andre Lacerna. Issued, disbursed in Nueva Ecija for 100,000, again dated February 25, 2023. Can you go over it? P-1-17-431 in the name of Hamil Haldon, disbursed in Coronadal City for 100,000, also dated February 25, 2023. An acknowledgement receipt, P-1-17-479. No name, signature only, disbursed in Batangas for the amount of 9,000. Again, dated February 25, 2023. John V. Manta received in Kalinga, Apayao, 50,000 pesos On February 25, 2023, Exhibit P-1-17-480, P-1-17-481, Rona De Vera received 50,000 pesos in South Leyte. Also, on February 25, 2023, and lastly, a signature received in Abra, 50,000 pesos, P-1-17-540. Also on February 25, 2023. Based on these acknowledgement receipts, do you confirm,
Yes po.
Madam Witness,
Opo.
that what is stated is accurate based on the records?
Based po sa mga acknowledgement receipts po. Opo.
What observation can you make or significance do you draw from these documents presented to you?
Based po dun sa documents na present sa akin, lahat po ito is dated Feb 25, 2023 po, with different addresses po na nakalagay.
And on the same date, disbursements on the same date with different addresses. What observation, if any, can you draw from this?
Yun nga po.
With different addresses,
Opo.
locations. Is this, again, to clarify, is this a place where the money was disbursed or where the money was received?
Your Honor, please. Witness is incompetent, Your Honor, to testify on that matter.
Your Honor, she is competent.
Based on the document, again, that was the earlier question of the presiding officer, address ba ito nung binigyan o address to kung saan binigay?
Based po sa document as documents evidencing payment kung saan po binigay yung address.
Okay.
Ang ibig
Hindi
sabihin,
continue, Counsel.
ang ibig sabihin kung saan binigay, ang ibig bang sabihin, correct me if I'm wrong, Madam Witness, on the same date, itong mga binigyan ng confidential funds ay nasa different locations ba, Madam Witness?
Based po sa documents, opo.
Okay. And based sa joint circular na sinabi mo, sino dapat ang mag-distribute or mag-disburse ng perang nakalagay dito?
It is the responsibility po ng Special Disbursing Officer.
So, tama bang sabihin, correct me if I'm wrong, kung mali naman ang understanding ko, tama bang sabihin na ang Special Disbursement Officer sa isang araw pinuntahan lahat itong lokasyon na ito?
Your
Tama
Honor,
ba ang interpretation ko?
Your Honor, please.
If she knows, Your Honor, she was the one who evaluated.
Your Honor,
These
that calls for a
documents.
conclusion of fact.
Witness is not competent to answer the question, Counsel. I think let the document speak for itself. That if indeed the SDO is the only officer authorized to disburse the funds, then clearly it is physically impossible to be in all of these locations in one day. And there was earlier admission that the SDO gave the funds to a Colonel Lachika, probably even more. So that remains to be seen and proven in the coming days. Please proceed, Counsel.
Who is the Special Disbursement Officer of the DepEd?
Sa DepEd po is si Mr. Edward Fajarda.
And based on your definition of a Special Disbursement Officer, si Mr. Fajarda ang authorized na magbigay ng lahat na ito, Madam Witness?
Yes po.
Okay. Going now.
With the indulgence of Counsel, so sa ilalim ng joint circular, siya lang, walang iba.
Yes po, ito po ay nakasama sa kanyang responsibility. At based on item 6.1.1 po, hindi po ito pwedeng i-transfer from one accountable to another.
So, based on these documents, kasi sinabi mo, si Mr. Fajarda, so, makikita naman natin, as observed by the presiding officer, these were many locations in one day. Ngayon, Mr. Fajarda, Special Disbursement Officer. Alam mo ba kung may sinabmit na dokumento si Mr. Fajarda na nag-i-indicate sa COA o COA-ICFAO na inauthorize niya kung sino mang ibang individual na mag-distribute nitong kapirahan na to sa mga iba-ibang taong ito sa ibang places na to. Meron bang inattach na letter or acknowledgement si Mr. Fajarda o hindi Mr. Fajarda? Yung head of agency, si Vice President o DepEd Secretary Sara Duterte, meron bang siyang sinubmit na authorization na binigay kay Mr. Fajarda kung sino na siyang disbursement officer para i-delegate sa iba ni Mr. Fajarda yung pagpunta sa iba-ibang lugar na to sa isang araw lang? Meron bang dokumentong ganon na authorization ang tinanggap ng office mo?
Ang natanggap po namin na authorization or designation is si BP Sara ang nag-designate kay Mr. Edward Fajarda as Special Disbursing Officer ng Department of Education. Naka-attach po ito dun sa liquidation documents.
So may certification si Vice President kay Mr. Fajarda. Aside from Mr. Fajarda, meron bang ibang pangalan na nakalagay dyan sa dokumento?
Wala po. Ang nakalagay lang po doon is si Mr. Fajarda ang designated na Special Disbursing Officer ng DepEd po for confidential fund.
Punta naman tayo, last batch na to. Meron naman tayong another list, no? Attached to the response of the Office of the Vice President para sa acknowledgement receipts dated March 15, 2023. Liquidation ng Vice President. Ng DepEd. Again, please go over this acknowledgement receipts.
This is for what quarter, Attorney Kapunan?
This is for the third.
Third,
This is for the same quarter, Your Honor.
first and second
First and second quarter, Your Honor.
of 2023.
Yes, Your Honor. And we're talking about, again, from a list of 1,049 acknowledgement receipts, we have selected a few. Madam Witness, showing to you several selected ones. I'm showing to you, being flashed on the screen, P-1-17-57, and I will go over this list very briefly if you can follow me. Adolfo Molina, date March 15, 2023, Buda Marilog, Davao City for 50,000 pesos. P-1-17-58, walang pangalan, signature only. Date March 15, 2023, Tandag, 30,000 pesos. P-1-17-107, wala na namang pangalan, signature only. Binayad sa Puerto Galera, Mindoro, 65,000 pesos. Date, the same, March 15, 2023. Jeline Espino, Laguna, 50,000 pesos. Date, March 15, 2023. Walang pangalan, P-1-17, signature only. Date, March 15, 2023. Sa Agusan del Norte, 40,000 pesos. Kay Rex Napoles, tumanggap ng 50,000 pesos sa Olongapo. On the same date, March 15, 2023, P-1-17-128, Next, piano recto P-1-17-148 sa Zamboanga City, 40,000 pesos. Mr. Julio Esguerra, taga Butuan City, tumanggap ng 100,000 pesos, P-1-17-189, also on March 15, 2023. Are you following, Madam Witness?
Yes po.
P-1-17, walang pangalan, signature only, Davao City, 25,000 pesos. Another 50,000 pesos sa walang pangalan, signature only, P-1-17-226 na issued or disbursed in Nabunturan. From Nabunturan, Laguna, 50,000 pesos sa isang Nizel T, P-1-17-227. Isang walang signature, tumanggap sa Dasmariñas, Cavite ng 65,000 pesos, P-1-17-259 on March 15, 2023. Carmen Sevillano, taga Surigao del Norte, tumanggap ng 50,000 on the same date, March 15, 2023, P-1-17-260. Tama?
Opo.
Okay. Can you continue?
Dito po sa
P-1-17-311. P-17-261, walang pangalan, tama? Signature only. Saan naman ito in-issue?
Quezon City
Sa Quezon City for 65,000 pesos. Ito naman, P-1-17-311, walang pangalan, signature, Bacoor, 50,000 pesos. Si Alice Crescencio, tumanggap galing Iligan City, 25,000 pesos. On the same date, March 15, 2023, P-1-17-349. P-117-406, walang pangalan, signature lang. Galing naman Tarlac, 50,000 pesos on the same day, March 15, 2023. Walang pangalan, signature lang, galing Pasay City, tumanggap ng 65,000 pesos, P-1-17-422. Isang signature na tumanggap galing Calbayog, Samar, 45,000 pesos. Walang pangalan, March 15, 2023, P-117-423. P-117-447, again, no name. Compostela Valley, tumanggap ng 100,000 pesos. On the same day, March 15, 2023, another signature received, hindi mabasa to, San Juan City, unreadable, 30,000 pesos. On the same day, March 15, 2023, P-117-468. Another signature received, walang pangalan, sa Aguinaldo, Ifugao, tumanggap ng 100,000 pesos. On March 15, 2023,
Your Honor, please.
P-117.
Your Honor, please.
Three more, Your Honor. Four more.
We
Just
get the
four
point,
more.
counsel. We get the point, and it's in the tabulation anyway of the witness.
Okay. Now, Madam Witness, sa mga binasa natin at sa mga na-observe mo, anong significance nitong acknowledgement receipts na pinakita sa'yo?
Ito po ang proof of payments po ng confidential fund. And based po dito, all dated March 15, 2023 with different addresses po.
All dated.
March 15, 2023.
So, sino dapat, based on your circular, ang nag-disburse nitong mga pondong to?
Ang dapat po mag-disburse ay ang Special Disbursing Officer.
At sino nga ang special disbursing officer na yan?
Ito po ay sa DepEd po si Mr. Edward Fajarda.
Kung hindi naman, kasi nung binabasa ko to, no? Kasi ako, Marvel Comics ang binabasa ko. Superman ang favorite ko. Kung hindi man Superman, ang isang SDO, kaya ba niyang puntahan? Sa palagay mo,
Your Honor, please.
lahat na ito.
Your Honor, please.
Yes, Counsel for
The
Respondent.
question is speculative, Your Honor.
What is speculative about Superman? He can fly anywhere
It's a
in one day.
hypothetical question.
Counsel, move on. Move
I
on,
will move
Counsel.
on, Your Honor.
We get
Now,
your point.
Madam Witness, what other documents? Although, can we ask that Superman remain on record, Your Honor?
We did not strike it off, Counsel. Just the presiding officer simply asked you to move on.
Madam Witness, what other documents, if any, ano pang mga dokumento, apart from this, apart from this acknowledgement receipts for the first and second quarter constituting 1,049 documents. 1,049 documents for the first quarter and second quarter. I'm sorry.
You're in DepEd already, Counsel.
561 and 619, Your Honor, or 1,180 for the DepEd. Anong other documents ang inattach ng DepEd?
To support po the payment of rewards, nag-attach po sila ng certifications from relevant partners, specifically the Armed Forces of the Philippines po.
And itong mga certifications ng armed forces, if shown to you, would you be able to identify them?
Yes po.
Okay. Showing to you. Showing to you a certification dated January 1, 2024, issued by Colonel Manaros M. Buransing, marked as Exhibit P-1-22-A, stipulated upon by the Defense Counsel, Your Honor, Respondent. Certification dated December 30, 2023, issued by Colonel Carlos B. Sangandaan Jr., previously marked Exhibit P-1-22B, likewise stipulated upon, common exhibit with the defense or respondent. Certification dated December 5, 2023, issued by Colonel Magtanggol Panopio, marked as Exhibit P-1-22-C up to P-1-22-C-1, again stipulated by counsel for the respondent, and certification issued by Colonel Adonis R. Badjao, previously marked as Exhibit P-1-22D, showing to you these exhibits, Madam Witness, and as well being flashed on the screen for easy reference of this honorable court. What relation do these certifications, which are both prosecution and defense exhibits, what do these certifications have in relation to this certification you said was issued by the armed forces?
These are the same certifications po na naka-attach sa kanilang response.
Anong significance naman ng certifications na to?
Dito po sa certification na to, inattach po nila ito bilang proof of success of the information gathering and or surveillance activities.
At ito bang proof of success compliant sa circular na pinagbasihan mo?
During my evaluation po, opo, nag-compliant po ito dun sa joint circular.
Okay. What action, if any, pagkatapos na-receive itong certification, ito ba yung sinabi ni Attorney Wamil na pro forma? Hindi.
Hindi po, iba po yun.
Ngayon, ano ang actions taken by your office with regards to this certification, if any?
Ito po, based po sa evaluation, ito po ay compliant po sa joint circular.
Okay. At anong inisyo nyo, if any?
Welcome to One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. Here are the headlines at this hour. The search for survivors in Baguio City's recent landslide officially ended, bringing the final death toll to 10. Emergency workers in Barangay Gisad, Surong recovered the final 2 missing bodies early Tuesday morning after a back-breaking 36-hour search and retrieval operation. 3 residents were successfully pulled from the rubble alive, while 20 families have been displaced by the disaster. The mountainside collapse struck late Sunday night, burying 3 residential houses under tons of mud and debris. Incessant habagat rains triggered the mudslide. Trapped resident May Soriano went on Facebook Live from inside her collapsing home. Netizens and disaster teams tracked her broadcast, allowing rescuers to pinpoint her location and extract her family alive. Baguio City emergency crews have now shifted their operations to site stabilization and debris clearing. The Education Department expressed deep grief over the deaths of 5 students among the 10 landslide fatalities. The lost learners include 2 in grade 7, 1 in grade 3, 1 in grade 4, and 1 in the alternative learning system. A creek in Baclaran became a sea of trash after days of relentless rain. For the latest, we're joined by mobile journalist Francis Rivera in Parañaque. Francis, kamusta na ang cleanup operations?
Diego, tuloy-tuloy pa rin naman yung ginagawang cleanup operation ng LGU ng Parañaque. Gayon din kasama yung MMDA at DPWH. Ito nga at ayan, patuloy pa rin yung ginagawa nilang pagkuha ng mga basura dito sa Baclaran Creek, no? At actually may nakikita na rin tayong improvement dahil medyo bumababa na rin yung level ng mga basura, no? Kung nakikita niyo yung white, yan yung marka na white na yan. Yan yung linya kung saan gaano kataas yung basura mula pa kahapon. Pero nakita nga natin na medyo nagsasubside o bumababa na rin dahil continuous yung ginagawa nilang pagkuha ng mga basura, no, bukod sa manpower doon sa mga member ng sentro from LGU ng Parañaque, yung MMDA at doon sa DPWH, meron mga itong mga bako, no, na paturo din na kumukuha ng basura upang mas mapabilis yung paghakot nito at yung mga basura at agad naman nilang dinadala sa may San Mateo, Rizal. Diego, to give you explain lang, no? Iba rin kasi yung amoy at
Wait, Francis.
yung amoy
Francis, bago tayo tumuloy, pasintabi mo na sa kumakain. But that's what I wanted to ask you, Francis. Specifically, no, I know nag-report ka na and all, but saan specifically galing itong huge? Kasi malaki, tonelada to eh. And all of this, in one place ba nila to dadalhin? O saan nila di-dispose?
Yes, Diego, yung mga basura daw dadalhin nga nila dito sa may dam site sa may San Mateo, Rizal.
Yes,
Yun yung nakuha natin na binigay sa atin, no? Actually, yung mga basura naman dito galing sa iba't ibang city, hindi lang daw to sa Parañaque. At eto kasing creek na to ay connected sa Manila Bay, kaya naman daw nung nag-high tide yung Manila Bay naging catch basin ng basura itong Redemptorist Channel. Ito nga dito nga itong creek na pinagpupwestuhan natin ngayon at kaya ngayon talagang dumami. Ayon dun sa observation at assessment ng DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon, nag-overlap or talagang over daw talaga yung basura dahil kung makikita natin bandang doon sa may gitna andun yung trash trapper, yung kung saan dapat patrap yung mga basura doon sa may gitna pa lang at hindi na dapat naabot dito, pero kita naman natin na nag-overflow daw ng basura kaya naipon dito.
Alam mo, Francis, anong safety measures naman meron in place para sa mga workers given na sabi mo nga yung amoy niya, di ba? And yung health risk dyan. And also, how strong is the smell to a point na yung mga buildings dyan na nakikita natin sa video, umaabot ba yung amoy doon?
Yung sa amoy naman, Jericho, ito dulot na lang siguro to ng napakalakas na hangin na nararamdaman natin ngayon kasabay nga ng kaunting pag-ulan. No? Pero so far, nung na-try naman natin lumayo-layo, hindi naman siya ganun kasangsang. Pero hindi naman ganun katapang din. Pero yung amoy mismo dito sa may malapit na mismo sa creek, talagang medyo may katapangan yung amoy. Yun yung tinitiis ng mga worker na naandito. No? At ayon sa Parañaque LGU na nakausap natin kanina, si Mayor Edwin Olivares, yung mga worker naman yung mga worker naman dito ay mabibigyan daw sila ng gamot, no, antay nga dito sa may leptospirosis kasi alam naman natin na madumi ang tubig dito sa creek na to.
Francis, parang ganun ang sinasabi, bibigyan na lang ng gamot pag nagkasakit. Kasi I saw yung video, yung mga naka-green sila, walang gloves, naka-short sleeves. Usually pag ganyan kasi clean up, parang naka-PPE type sila parang naka-cover up sila. Pero itong mga iba, nakita ko, wala, not even a mask.
Yun yung napansin natin, yun yung observation din natin kanina pa, Chego, no? Pero sabi naman ni Parañaque City Mayor Edwin Olivares, eto mga naka-boots naman daw. At yung iba naman sa kanila, nakapag-practice may mga gloves. Pero karamihan sa kanila din, halos wala. Bare hands. Talagang pinupulot yung basura at talagang nakaluplup sila, Diego. Ito, explain ko, nakikita ko, kapewang yung tubig na pinagluluplupan nila ngayon.
Grabe nga, Francis. Well, given the amount of trash that I see on the monitor, when do authorities now expect everything to be completed?
Ayon kay Secretary Vince Dizon, no, ang target nga daw nila kung hindi naman within this week, maubos na itong tuloy-tuloy natin talagang basura na naandito. Within 2 weeks daw. Talagang ayun yung assurance sa binigay. Assurance nila is 2 weeks na malinis at mawawala na raw talaga yung basura dito sa Redemptorist Channel.
Alright, well, mag-ingat ka rin dyan, Francis, at maraming salamat sa update mo, mobile journalist Francis Rivera. In the meantime, President Bongbong Marcos believes flooding in some areas is not as bad as before, but acknowledged that more work needs to be done to address the problem. Marcos led an inspection in Las Piñas City earlier in the day, where he cited the resumption of dredging operations after a 12-year moratorium. The halt, he said, allowed rivers and spillways to become shallower. The president also said the government is now working to restore dredging as part of efforts to help reduce flooding.
Hindi ganun kalala ang pagbaba, medyo nabawasan. Dati hanggang dibdib umaabot. Ngayon wala pa, hindi na hanggang kulang pa sa tuhod ang baha. At so effective naman ang ating ginagawa. Ngunit alam naman natin kulang pa rin yan. Marami pa rin tayong kailangan gawin.
The proposed 7.2 trillion peso national expenditure program is now with the House of Representatives. Let's bring in mobile journalist Amy Atienza. Amy, what does the 2027 spending bill look like?
Yes, so Diego, kanina nga ay formal nang binahagi ng Department of Budget and Management sa House of Representatives itong 7.2 trillion proposed national budget para nga sa 2027. At nakita natin doon na medyo same pa rin naman compared last year, no, yung mga ahensya na nakakuha nga ng matataas na allocation para dito sa panukalang pondo para nga sa susunod na taon. Kabilang na nga dyan ng Department of Education na nasa around 976 billion pesos at sumunod dyan ang Department of Public Works and Highways na may 644 billion pesos. At after that ay yung Department of Health naman na may 353.8 billion pesos. Ngayon, Diego, ang katanungan ay kung mayroon pa nga bang pondo na mailalaan para sa flood control projects. At kahapon, nakumpirma naman ni DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon na nandoon nga sa request nila na magkakaroon sana ng pondo para nga sa flood control, pati na rin mitigation projects. At kanina ay nasa around 107 billion pesos ang disclosed amount doon sa 2027 NEP para nga dito sa flood control, no? Pero ang sinisigurado din ay sa pagdating ng mga pagdinig, no, ay titingnan nga daw kung paano nga ba gagastusin yung mga pondo na nakalaan sa iba't ibang ahensya. Dahil kung maalala din nung nakaraang taon, itong infrastructure funding doon sa SAGIP funds na ibinahagi din mismo ng Committee on Appropriations ng Kamara ay inalis na mismo. So medyo makikita natin no, yung possible limitations na ibigay nga pagdating doon sa pondo na ilalaan sa infrastructure. Pero sa kabuuan naman, no, Diego, ay mas mataas nga itong 7.2 trillion pesos ng 6% kumpara doon sa 6.73 trillion pesos na National Expenditure Program para sa 2026. At ngayon, inaasahan na nga lang din natin na sa August 17 hanggang September 8 ay magsisimula na at magsasagawa na mismo ang Committee on Appropriations ng Kamara ng budget deliberations kasama ang iba't ibang ahensya para nga mapag-usapan pa yung paggasta ng mga pondo na nakapaloob doon sa panukalang pondo. Diego?
Well, Amy, ano yung next steps na ngayon sa paggawa ng national budget? Ano aasahan ng public?
Well, Diego, tulad na nasabi ko kanina, no, inaasahan na sunod na mangyayari dito ay yung budget deliberations. Kanina, kinumpirma na rin naman no, ni House Speaker Bogie D na ganun pa rin yung magiging sistema, mas magiging people-centered itong budget. Kumbaga, meron pa rin live streaming nitong budget. Magkakaroon din nung mismong BARC kung saan nga inalis na yung small committee na nangyari noong 2024 at 2025 budget deliberations. At yun nga, inaasahan din na may possibility na ma-invite nga ulit yung ilan sa mga people's organization at civil society organizations para mas matalakay pa yung pag-allocate nitong 2027 National Expenditure Program. Technically kasi ito na rin daw kasi yung huling budget no na talagang pagtutuunan ng pansin ng administrasyon ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos.
Alright, thank you for that report, mobile journalist Amy Atienza. We also give you a quick look at stories from our media partners. On the Philippine Star, gasoline, diesel, and kerosene prices get cut by over 4 pesos per liter starting today, following last week's movement in global prices. Meanwhile, Meralco's August rate dropped about 9 pesos for a household using 200 kilowatt hours, mainly because of an ERC-ordered refund. Higher transmission, generation, and renewable energy charges partly offset the reduction. On Business World, Philippine foreign direct investment net inflows fell 64.7% year-on-year to $210 million in May 2026. This is the lowest since March 2015 or in 11 years. Economists attribute investor caution to geopolitical tensions, trade uncertainty, inflation, weak activity, peso weakness, and domestic policy concerns. For more details of these stories, you can visit the social media pages of the Philippine Star and Business World. Do check out as well the social media platforms of One News PH for the very latest headlines. The afternoon session of Vice President Sara Duterte's impeachment trial continues. We now go to mobile journalist Merimon Reyes. Merimon, ano na so far ang mga sinabi ni COA Auditor Sailin Del Campo yung tungkol sa acknowledgement receipts at disbursement ng Confi funds? No? Saan ba talaga ito napunta? Yan ang kasi tanong dyan.
Tama, Diego. At sa continuing na testimony or sa direct examination ng prosecution dito kay State Auditor Sailin Del Campo na sumalo na nung umalis itong si former State Auditor Roderick Wamil, ang sinasabi 375 billion pesos yung total disallowance para sa OVP. Ito naman yung para sa first hanggang sa third quarter ng 2023. At sinasabi dito ni Del Campo, binubuo kasi ito ng around 69 million pesos in rewards, na walang sapat na dokumentong nagpapatunay ng successful information gathering or surveillance na may kinalaman sa confidential activities ng OVP. 199 million pesos naman pagdating sa purchases ng medical and food aid. Hindi rin daw ma-ascertain dito ang validity or purpose. Sa ibang part pa, nasabi rin ni Del Campo na meron pang 3.5 billion pesos na ginamit para raw bumili ng tables, ng chairs, ng desktop computers and printers. At ang problema nga lang dito, walang pinakitang official receipts or sales invoice para patunayan itong kanilang pagpapurchase at napaggamit daw nito doon sa confidential activities. May cash advance transfer issue dito na natalakay ngayon or continuing na tinatalakay ngayong hapon. Ang sabi kasi sa testimony testimony ni former OVP Special Disbursing Officer Gina Acosta doon sa pagdinig ng House of Representatives. Inutusan daw siya ni Vice President Sara Duterte na ibigay ang cash advance kay Colonel Raymond Lachica, head ito ng VP Security and Protection Group. At ayon naman sa COA, direct violation daw ito noong Joint Circular 2015-01 dahil hindi raw maaaring ibigay ng SDO ang cash advance sa ibang officer. At dahil dito, notice of disallowance ang inilabas ng COA at hindi raw notice of suspension. Ang ilan pa sa na-flag nila dito, yung ilang activities na pinadala ng OVP para doon sa liquidation sana. May activities na hindi pasok sa timeline ng cash advance. For example, yung December 21 to 31, 2022, may activities sila nilista doon pero December 13 to 18, 2022. Isa pang flag nila dito sa ibang mga ipinadala naman as supporting requirements nila sa COA is hindi naman ito pasok sa joint circular ng mga aktibidad kung saan pwedeng paggamitan ng confidential funds. That includes Christmas parties, meetings, tree plantings, and distribution of wheelchairs. Diego.
Alright, tinatanong din madami kung si Senator Judge Loren Legarda ba still on medical leave. Ano ba official niya na sinabi hanggang kailan at sino pa ang absent ngayon?
Diego, August 3 to 5 kasi yung nakalagay doon sa letter na pinadala ng opisina ni Senator Loren Legarda kay Senate Secretary Ray Bantug. So yun yung medical leave niya. Kaya ang isa sa inaabangan natin ay kung supposedly for this week, magpapakita na itong senadora. Pero Senator Loren Legarda, absent pa rin siya. Senator Bongo, Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, so far hindi pa natin sila nakahagilap.
Alright, well, we'll keep in touch. Thank you for that report, mobile journalist Merimon Reyes. We'll be back at the top of the hour for today's headlines. I'm Diego Castro. Day 14 of the impeachment trial. Duterte impeachment trial is still underway. Let's listen in.
That this credit notice says which you issued is not final.
Yes,
Correct? Now, tell us, what would be the grounds for opening a credit notice, if you know?
Ang account po na settled can be reopened kasi po if the transaction is tainted with fraud, collusion, or new material evidence were discovered before mag-expire yung 3-year period po ng settlement ng account.
Okay, so you're saying that even if because of the certifications submitted as to these activities, a credit notice was issued in the 3-year period, your office, COA ICFAO, can reopen on the ground of, what are these grounds again?
If the transaction is tainted with fraud, collusion, or
What do you mean by fraud in the transactions?
may anomalya po sa paggamit po ng pondo.
Okay. Ano pa?
And new material evidence were discovered po before the expiration of the 3-year period.
The second ground. And the third ground is?
Yun po. May na-discover po na material evidence po before the expiration of the 3-year period.
Okay. Now, Madam Witness, what is the current status of the evaluation of the response? You said earlier na dahil sa action taken by the COA ICFAO, nag-respond ang DepEd. What is the status of that response?
Ini-evaluate pa po
For the third quarter, September 30, July 12 to September 30, 2023, if you know.
This is until under evaluation and review pa po.
Under evaluation.
Opo.
Bakit hanggang ngayon under evaluation?
Ito po ay under evaluation pa din hanggang ngayon kasi po this transaction po composed of voluminous documents na kailangang pag-aralan. And sa review process po namin, pagkatapos ko po itong ma-evaluate, iaakyat ko po ito sa aking division chief na extensive din po ang kanyang pagdadaan ng review. And after po sa division chief, aakyat pa po ito sa officer in charge ng ICFAO for further review po. And sa ICFAO po kasi, kulang po kami sa manpower And marami po kaming nare-receive na iba-ibang documents from different agencies po na meron ding ganito karaming mga documentations po. And itong mga agencies po ito, fair po ang aming pag-treat sa kanila, kaya po binibigyan namin ng pansin lahat po.
Okay, now, Madam Witness. In his testimony, when asked, Attorney Mr. Wamil said that based on his evaluation, during the period that he was there with the COA ICFAO, he made a finding that these documents submitted by the OVP and the DepEd for that particular period he was in the COA ICFAO were irregular, based on the guidelines or based on the joint circular that you cited.
Yes.
To you, Madam Witness, you who took over these same documents that were submitted and who made your own independent valuation, what would you say are these documents? What can you say about these documents submitted by the OVP and the DepEd based on your post-audit evaluation?
Yung sa OBP po, ito ay irregular po dahil hindi po ito naging compliant sa joint circular. During the time naman po na in-evaluate ko ang Department of Education, compliant po sila sa joint circular. Pero gaya nga po ng nasabi, pwede po may reopen itong settled account ng Department of Education po.
Okay. Merong sinite si Attorney Wamil na prima facie evidence. No? You're not a lawyer, but under accounting rules, tama ba yung interpretation na pag hindi kompleto, if the document submitted based on 8.3 of the joint circular, if the documents submitted by way of liquidation of confidential funds are not complete, ano ang epekto nito based on the circular?
Under po sa joint circular, dun sa under 8.1 nga po, failure of the accountable officer to liquidate is a prima facie evidence na this is for nagamit po ito for personal use and benefit.
Okay. Now, you said that prima facie failure of the accountable officer. At earlier, tinanong ka ang accountable officer ng OVP is the head of agency. Meaning, sino yon?
Si Vice President Sara Duterte po.
At sa DepEd naman, sino ang head of agency?
During the time po nung 2023, it is Vice President Sara Duterte din po.
And under 8.3, ang presumption is naging use, to quote, paki-quote, use for personal.
Sabi po sa 8.3, failure of the accountable officer to liquidate is a prima facie evidence that he or she used the missing funds for personal use and benefit.
Okay. Madam Witness. Okay. My last question to you, Madam Witness. Let's go back to this hearing in the Committee on Good Government Accountability. And there is an admission there, Madam Witness, in your testimony here, that you, in that hearing, Gina Acosta, Chief of Staff of the VP, admitted, of the SDO, I'm sorry, admitted to transferring confidential funds, tama, to Colonel La Chica.
Your Honor, please.
There's no
Yes,
question yet,
Counsel
Your Honor.
Correspondent.
Your Honor, the exact wordings of the counsel cannot be verified without, reflecting the TSNs that she is referring to.
Your Honor, I'm referring to the testimony of this witness. Besides, in the previous hearing, there is judicial notice already of the TSNs.
No, that's not it, Counsel. Witness already admitted early in her earlier testimony that she was there when Gina Acosta testified before the House of Representatives and heard her testify. Based on her recollection of what she said, she may answer. Kindly finish your last question, Counsel.
I forgot. You repeat my question. What did I say? Wala pa akong question. Okay. Based on this admission of Gina Acosta that indeed confidential funds were transferred, the disbursement of confidential funds were transferred to Colonel La Chica. What about in relation to the DepEd funds?
May nabanggit din po noon si Mr. Fajarda na binibigay niya yung confidential fund kay Colonel Nolasco po.
Again,
May naging admission under oath.
may
din-
admission then under oath. In the same hearing, Madam Witness,
Yes po.
what was that admission?
Sinabi din po ni Mr. Edward Fajarda na SDO ng DepEd na binibigay po niya yung cash advance for confidential fund kay Colonel Nolasco.
Okay. And who is this Fajarda?
Siya po ang Special Disbursing Officer ng Department of Education.
And who is Nolasco?
Isa po siya sa mga, part po siya ng Vice Presidential and Security Protection Group.
So our understanding is in the Office of the Vice President, an admission of Gina Acosta that disbursement was given to some other person. The same admission was made by the DepEd SDO, Fajarda, that disbursement of the funds was given to somebody else. Madam Witness?
Yes po, tama po.
And what observation? As a COA, ICFAO, State Auditor, what significance or observation can you make from these admissions by both Gina Acosta and Fajarda?
This is a violation po of the joint circular, specifically yung item 6.1.1 na hindi dapat ito i-transfer from one accountable officer to another.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you, Counsel. It's 2:28. I promised the Senate President we will finish by 2:30 so that we can convene session at 3 p.m. Counsel for Respondent, Attorney Christine, can you do your cross tomorrow instead of today?
I can, Your Honor.
Your Honor, before I turn over to our head, Your Honor, may I make just this manifestation for the record, just to clear?
Yes, Counsel.
For avoidance, Your Honor, although we did mark the tabulations and summaries, Your Honor, for avoidance of doubt and for the record, the authenticity of the ARs are deemed established when the parties agreed with the dispensing of identification, Your Honor.
Your Honor, please.
So noted.
Thank you,
Your Honor, please. Just a counter manifestation to her statement, Your
You may
Honor.
do so, Counsel,
Yeah,
before
there
we
was no
adjourn.
such admission, Your Honor, and there was no dispensing of identification of the ARs. Precisely, that is what the witness did in today, Your Honor. Thank you.
It is without prejudice to Counsel for Respondent crossing the witness using their copies of the AR, which reminds the presiding officer to also remind the Counsel for the Respondent to kindly submit copies of their pre-marked documents, specifically the ARs covering the last quarter of 2022 and the first 3 quarters of 2023 for both the OVP and the DepEd insofar as the first 3 quarters of 2023 is concerned. If not within today, by tomorrow, Counsel. Attorney Christine?
Yes, Your Honor, we'll do that.
Thank you very much. What is the pleasure of Senator Judge Zubiri?
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Mr. President, I could see that having the sessions for the impeachment court in the morning, we have to put a halt because of the session in the afternoon. May I make a suggestion? That in the last week when we did our sessions, we only took about 2 to 3 hours the most tackling our legislative calendar. May I make a suggestion that we move our legislative sessions in the morning at 10, and then have the impeachment trial at 3 in the afternoon, so that we are not hampered by our legislative calendar. When discussions such as these are important, when you present evidence and the cross will be done by the counsels for the respondent, hindi po mapuputol yung kanilang discussion. Mr. President, hanggang sawa tayo, pwede tayo dito from 3 to 10 ng gabi. That way, lahat ng tao po ay makakapanood din ng mga sagot nila, and at the same time, we can do our work and maybe hasten the proceedings of the impeachment trial, Mr. President. That's my simple suggestion, and I would like to make it into a proper motion, Mr. President. Of course, giving leeway to the Senate, to the impeachment presiding officer, which days he would want to do it, Your Honors, my dear colleagues.
The point of the Senator Judge Zubiri is well taken. I think we should adjust as the need arises our session and/or the impeachment trial, subject to a day's notice, I guess, to the parties before we shift. Hindi naman pwedeng the following day agad kung sakasakaling gagawin natin. But if ever we will do it, subject to notice to the parties. Yes, Senator Judge Pia. Cayetano.
Mr. Presiding Judge and Senate President, I recall we discussed this in caucus. So can we just go back into caucus? Because there were reasons we decided on this. So may I humbly suggest that we, take a moment and just discuss this in caucus. Plus, the Minority Floor Leader is not here right now. So may I just humbly request that we have this discussion. Thank you.
We won't do it yet anytime soon anyway, Senator Judge Pia. Not anytime
Yes, maybe
soon.
we can make a
Certainly
decision.
not this week.
Mr. Presiding Officer, maybe we can make a decision by tomorrow. We can wait for the Minority Floor Leader to attend
Excuse me.
today, and we can discuss it on caucus, and maybe by tomorrow the presiding officer can make a decision.
Yes, what is the pleasure of Senator Judge Camille Villar?
Yes, because I remember not too long ago, our Majority Floor Leader even brought up the idea of starting 30 minutes after, from 10 o'clock to 10:30. And then it was suggested by our other colleague that we discuss it in caucus together. So let's afford the same time for such decisions, right? I mean, we can't do it right away.
Yeah, Mr.
Again,
President,
we're not in a hurry to decide on this matter.
Mr. Presiding Officer, I'm just laying the predicate.
Yes.
It's best that we discuss this in open court now, and hindi po mabulaga sila na by Monday, iba na yung schedule. Tama po yung sinabi mo, we'll give them enough time to make the adjustments. But I'd like to put that notice because last week we only had 2 hours of session.
At least
And
for the
sayang po,
parties,
Mr. President,
for the
Mr.
parties and
Presiding
senator
Officer.
judges to keep that in mind, that there is such a possibility should we decide to
Yes.
do that after caucus.
And I think this is more important, Mr. President. The impeachment trial, we do it in we do it, proceed with, of course, with how do you say, swiftly, so that, they say justice delayed is justice denied. So this way, people have more time to listen to the arguments of both sides. Kasi like last week, we only had 2 hours, Mr. President, Mr. Presiding Officer, per session. Umuwi tayo ng 5 o'clock in the afternoon, 5:30. Sayang din naman ito pa oras para sa impeachment court. I just put that on the table for everyone to digest, and maybe we can make a decision by tomorrow. Thank you, gentlemen.
Again, the points of the good gentleman are well taken, but we shall decide at the appropriate time after caucus. There being no other matters to be taken up, trial is adjourned until tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Your Honor.
Yes, the Honorable Chua.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, naunawaan po namin na ngayon po ang submission ng mga pangalan po ng mga testigo para po sa susunod na linggo dahil ngayon po ay Martes. Subalit meron pa po kaming 3 mga testigo na nakasalang base po sa subpoena na in-issue po ng impeachment court. Sila po ay si Miss Marivic Pareha, Gina Acosta, at si Edward Farda. Dahil po dito, kung inyo pong mamarapatin, Your Honor, ay bigyan po kami ng pagkakataon na bukas na magsumiti na lamang ng aming mga testigo. Depende po sa magiging resulta ng hearing.
Tama po kayo, kaya hindi yan hiniling ng presiding officer dahil may 3 pa tayong testigong nakapila na naisyo na ng subpoena para mag-attend ng pagdinig bukas. At kung hindi natin sila matatapos bukas, mag-i-issue tayo ng panibagong subpoena dun sa hindi matatalakay bukas. At kung sino mang karagdagan testigong nais nyo idagdag para sa susunod na linggo.
Maraming salamat po, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. There being no other business to attend to and to take up and discuss, trial is hereby adjourned until tomorrow, August 12 at 10 a.m.
Okay, what you just see was the 14th day of Vice President Sara's impeachment trial, which just concluded. And what has happened is, in the last part, you saw Senator Judge Mig Zubiri make a suggestion to move the impeachment trial at 3:30 or 3 p.m. and then the plenary and other issues to be tackled in the morning. This was merely a suggestion, and Senator Pia Cayetano even suggested that they just take it up in caucus because Senator Alan Peter Cayetano was absent. But in the meantime, the Duterte impeachment trial will resume tomorrow, August 12, still at 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. And we will bring you the proceedings live right there. I'm Diego Castro. More stories for you at the top of the hour. Stay tuned to One News.